Kumasi, the main city of the Ashanti region, which is well known for its gold resources, is located in the centre of Ghana. Surrounded by forests and cultivated grounds, the city is a commercial and industrial centre with a formal timber, wood and food processing industry and hundreds of small cottage industries. The centre of the city hosts one of the largest markets of West Africa with over 1,000 sellers. Like many cities in developing countries, Kumasi is faced with the challenges of waste and sanitation problems associated with an increasing population and urban expansion. In Bwabai, a suburb of the city, a co-composting plant for the co-treatment of both fecal sludges and solid waste has been erected. Around 90% of Kumasi's solid waste is currently collected and disposed of by the authorities. The rest remains inside the city or is thrown into drains and rivers in an uncontrolled manner. Since the construction of a new proper treatment plant by the city authorities, the liquid waste situation of Kumasi has greatly improved. However, in other cities of developing countries, the excreta disposal situation remains critical. If fecal sludge is not treated, it is simply discharged into drainage ditches, onto open urban spaces, into inland waters or the sea.
The main problem has to do with finances and then also equipment. People who generate the waste have not been contributing towards the management of the waste. So the entire problem lies or is on the municipal authority. But then the current thinking is to go for resource recovery, which will sort of help reduce the quantity of waste that is supposed to be disposed of, and also to generate some funds to defray some of the cost of collection. One of the options is co-composting, and in that we're going to make use of the organic portion of the solid waste and also the fecal sludge that is going to come out of the treatment facility.
The joint composting of two or more raw organic materials is called co-composting, in this case fecal sludge and solid waste. The pilot plant consists of a dewatering area with 2 drying beds, a waste sorting area, a roofed composting area, an office for the plant manager, and a storeroom for bag compost, tools and other supplies. Co-composting is a suitable process as the materials complement each other. Human waste has a rather high nitrogen content and moisture. Municipal solid waste has a relatively high carbon content, allowing a better aeration on account of its coarse structure. The natural microorganisms in the waste produce heat inside the piles, or so-called windrows. Appropriate windrow sizes ensure sufficient heat generation to facilitate the biological degradation of organic matter and the destruction of the pathogens sometimes present in the waste. Compost made of solid waste and fecal sludge is an environmentally safe and rich nutrient soil conditioner. The main precondition is a well-conducted composting process. For research purposes, samples were taken at suitable intervals and places and analysed in an environmental quality laboratory. This allows us to determine the quality of the end product during the process and, if necessary, to improve the performance of the system. Depending on its properties, compost can have several applications, especially in urban agriculture. Farmers appreciate it as it improves soil productivity. The full potential of compost on a soil can only be seen after several years.
There's a link between urban agriculture and waste management. In the urban areas, a lot of food are consumed and there's high rate of waste generation. Because of the high consumption and high demand for food, many people are now involved in urban agriculture at the backyards, in open spaces. And this kind of agriculture is characterized by continuous cultivation throughout the year, meaning that the soil requires special modifier. In that case, most of the food that are consumed that are lost in waste have these nutrients which could be recycled back into agriculture. So through composting of the organic fraction of the waste, both solid waste and human waste that are generated within the city, the bulk of the nutrients that are held in this waste are sent back into food production, thereby closing the nutrient loop from production to consumption and back to production. Now, when this compost is applied to the soil, it will enhance the soil structure. It will build up the organic matter. It will allow the soil to be continuously cropped for many years. It can also suppress some pathogens.
To reach sustainable and cost-effective urban management and development, waste recycling should be enhanced to return nutrients and organic matter to the soil. Hence, the livelihood of urban dwellers will be improved and a safer environment for future generations will be created. Waste managers and other stakeholders in many parts of the world are now exploring ways to reduce disposal of biodegradable materials and to ensure recycling. Conversion of human and solid waste into compost and its use in urban and peri-urban agriculture constitutes a promising option to achieve this objective.
Navala ngabile be ala wotan kabi vola namu wa mantanungo navala navala ngabile be ala wotan kabi vola namu wa mantanu